It's still the Hello Chambers, and my guest today is an honourable member from the House of Representatives. His name is Honourable Sada Soli, and he's the lawmaker representing Jibia Keita Federal Constituency of Katsina State. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on your re-election.
Thank you so much. I really need that congratulations.
Yes. So the 10th Assembly is going to be inaugurated by June this year, and we are already hearing your name coming up, suggesting that you're likely a contender for the seat of Speaker. But of course, that remains Chinese whispers until we hear from the horse's mouth. So tell us, are you in the race for
not only likely contender, likely the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives?
Well, I like that confidence.
We have all the qualities, we have all the knowledge, the experience, and the history of the Parliament. And I think that's what it takes to become a Speaker. We have the humility, we have the comfortment, and we have some level of thinking to be inclusive in the way we do things.
So you're confirming that you're in this race?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so tell us about your antecedents and your track record as a long-time legislator in the National Assembly. What
well, my antecedents in the history of Nigerian Parliament started date back in 1992 when I was deployed from the public service, civil service of the FCT. I was recruited in the House of Representatives as one of the table officers, senior legislative officer, and we started the National Assembly during the 1992-1993 National Assembly, and then by the side is Parliament, and the other side is the military. So we started that, and that's the beginning of my journey in the corridors of Parliament, on and on and on and on until 2006 when I quit my job voluntarily to join the politics, because I feel that there is need to come to contribute in the process of legislative engineering, which, God's willing, I acquired the experience and the knowledge to contribute my quota in the development of Nigerian democracy.
Okay, your party, the APC, is yet to say anything about how the leadership of the National Assembly would emerge. Are you in any way in support of it being zoned or ranking, that is the leadership, how it's going to be selected?
Well, obviously, when the party invited all the members of the National Assembly elect to a meeting, the party prevailed on the members, those that are aspiring to become leaders of the two chambers, that we should slow down, we should not overheat the polity, we should not create some kind of acrimonious struggle to assume the leadership. Everybody slowed down because the party will take a decision. The party emphasized its supremacy over the decision on how they will zone the leadership. So I believe the best way to do it is to look at the political arrangement, so that because of the sensitivity of most of these things now, I'm sure the party will do the right thing, and invariably they have to end up by zoning this position, so that we'll have some semblance of peace and inclusivity. So
you're in support of zoning. Do you think it might be in your favor?
Oh, absolutely, I'm in support of zoning because it's a political consideration. It is a political consideration, and it is something that must be recognized because of the way power is shared in the country. Zoning, though not constitutionally, but it's something that has come to stay. It's something that all the political players has accepted as a way of having some peaceful way of doing things in the country.
Well, we've started to see some steps you've been taking. We've started to see your posters around, branded T-shirts, face caps. Can you tell us more about the steps you're taking to actually pursue your ambition?
Well, it's a campaign, and campaign goes with these kind of components. Some of these things I don't know how they come up there. Most of these things are well-wishers, people that believe that we can deliver, people that believe that we can do this job, people that believe that we have the capacity and the knowledge and the experience to do this job. These are some of the goodwill we are attracting from people. That's why you see these posters, these banners, and some of them, some write-ups in the newspapers, some online thing. These are things that some of these things I don't even know how they come out there, because people felt that we have the goodwill to do this job.
Well, you have definitely won the hearts of people because of maybe your contributions in the National Assembly. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, certainly. Anybody that I can say with modesty, anybody that is a player, anybody that has been in the corridors of National Assembly can attest to the fact that we contributed greatly in the process of legislative engineering in the 9th Assembly and in the 6th. When I was there, the records are there. You can go on YouTube, just YouTube Sada Soli. You will see what we have done. This stark reality of what we have demonstrated in the process of legislative engineering. So I think generally I can say people know what we are doing. People have been following what every member in this house is doing, and people can judge those that can do the job.
So have you started reaching out to your colleagues in the 10th Assembly? Because I'm aware that you should be, by now be, you know, I know there will be new faces, but have you started meeting them? Have you started talking to them?
We have started talking to them, and I have written to each and every one of them my intent in an event, and the wisdom of our party, the APC, zone this thing to Northwest. We'll give it a shot. If the party did not zone it to the Northwest, I'm a party man. I will accept the decision of the party and will work with the zone that they have zoned it, and will work with the choice of the members of the House of Representatives.
Positive feedback so far? What are the feedbacks?
I don't think the party has any choice but to zone this to the Northwest, because the Northwest is the vote bank of Nigerian democracy. Without Northwest, forget it.
All right, we'll take a short break now, and when we return, we'll still be speaking with the Honourable Member. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Glad to have you back. If you're just joining us, you're still watching the Hallett Chambers, and our guest is Honourable Sada Soli, the lawmaker representing Jibia Keita, Federal Constituency of Katsina State. Thank you for staying with us on the program, sir. So we have been talking about the race for the speakership, but we are also aware that the deputy speaker is also in this race, and from what we know, he is considered the most ranking member of the House of Representatives as it stands. So how do you hope to overcome this?
I think that in fairness, the Deputy Speaker is well qualified, well positioned. Yes, he's a high-ranking member. He has an experience of a presiding officer, and it's his legitimate right to aspire, just like the legitimate right of any other member to aspire. So it's in order, it's perfect, but then remember the position of the presiding officer is yet to be decided by the party.
All right. How about the relationship between yourself and the governor of your state? Because we know that they too might play a little role in, influencing the decision of this race. How well are you in synergy with your state governor?
Well, anybody that knows my relationship with my state knows that you cannot go into the speakership race without the support, first, of your state. And it's impossible. It's impossible. Any right-thinking person cannot just get into this kind of venture without the support of his governor. I have absolute support of my governor, Governor Aminu Bello Masari, and I have absolute support of the governor-elect, Dr. Dukoreta. And then also the members coming from Katsina, I have the support of 10 of them, and including even the ones coming from the opposition party, because we are united, we have common front. If it comes to Katsina, it comes to Katsina. So everybody will share in the joy of having this kind of position to his state, regardless his political leaning.
And what is the body language of your party?
I think the body language of our party is they will do the right thing. The party will do the right thing. I have absolute confidence that the party will do the right thing because there is a good and effective party management, and then the party must have learned its lessons with the previous experiences. And I'm sure the president-elect, in conjunction with the party, will not allow what had happened before to occur again.
Okay, now we see a mix, a new mix right now in the National Assembly. We have more parties on ground, you know, we have new faces. How do you hope to change, you know, this narrative here? Because yes, there's going to be a flood like what we saw in the general elections. There are plans already to, you know, things are not going to be as business as usual. How do you hope to rise above, you know, this tide?
Well, you see, the parties are not many. We have had this kind of coloration of parties on the floor of both chambers, particularly the House of Representatives. What we have differently now, the dynamics. The dynamics have changed. There is a new party with completely new mindset and a new agenda. That's the Labour Party. But otherwise, we have had YPP, we have had, and then also we have NNPP, that are coming also with their number of about 18, 19, with their own dynamics. And these are things that I was telling you. In my own slogan, we are better together, we will be inclusive, given the chance, every member matters, every political party matters, and no one political party in the journey, in my journey as Speaker of House of Representatives, will be shortchanged. Every party, every group, every member will be given due regard, due rights to participate in the administration and in the running of the House, knowing the fact that I know these dynamics. I know these dynamics over decades. I have been in this system right from Ayu when he was Senate President, Ebuta Ame when he was Senate President, Anekwe when he was Speaker, Galinaba when he was Speaker, Masari when he was Speaker, even the short stint of Salis Buhari, Ete, Bankole, Tambuwal, Dogara, and Femi now. So at least I should learn from what had happened. If I could not say that I've learned something that will help me to provide leadership in the next House of Representatives, then I can tell you there is no point even surrendering myself for the election.
There's already a brewing debate between the people from the North Central and the Northwest, even though the party has not made a decision yet or taken a stand. But the people from the North Central say they are the ones that produced the bulk vote, that produced, you know, the president-elect, and as such, they should be, you know, given the opportunity to be among the leadership of the National Assembly. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, you see, sentiment is natural. I'm not discounting the North Central, and I'm not fighting the North Central. Let me be honest with you. My entire half of my life was in North Central. So I cannot discount the North Central. I cannot castigate the North Central. But I can tell you it's about interest, it's about sentiments. But when it comes to the reality of the Nigerian politics, sentiments apart and prejudice apart, when it comes to the reality of the Nigerian politics, anybody who jokes and discounts the importance of Northwest is at his peril.
All right, let's move on to other matters now of national importance. We saw the House of Representatives strongly taking a stand against those calling for an interim government or the return of the military regime. Why do you think these calls are getting louder despite, you know, responses from the government quarters? You know, some people, of course, are speaking against this. But why do you think these calls are growing louder?
Let me tell you a typical behavior of a Nigerian politician who has lost will always want everything to be taken back to the melting pot so that he will try again. That's the typical average behavior of a Nigerian politician who has lost. We have we don't have the understanding of the reality of the situation that we have lost, and then we cannot accept that we have lost and wait for another time to give it a shot. The call for interim government is a lazy thinking. How would it work? Where? How? Can anybody tell me how it will work? That would be a total anarchy. Where would you get the military, the armed forces to support the government? Where would you get the Chief Justice of the Federation to swear in the bill? Where will you house the head of the interim government? You come and attack Villa. Where will you get all this? Look, it is an imaginary thinking. It's a lazy thinking of some losers thinking about that. But let me be honest with you, the state is not taking this for granted.
Some people believe that the security agencies are actually slow in responding to these people calling for an interim government. Do you also agree that the security agency should be more proactive, especially in terms of arresting these people that are actually, engaging in this act and calling for the interim government?
You see, in this country, we have one of the best security outfits that you can find in Africa. Perhaps I can say in the world. One of the best materials. They were not too slow. What they did, they gave Nigerians heads up. You see, it's the duty of the state security services, to protect any domestic threat, irrespective of the scope of that threat. And then it is also part of the strategy in giving Nigerians a heads-on when there is an anticipation of a threat to the domestic peace. It is not something, you and I may not know whether an arrest has been made. You and I may not know, they have maybe even dealt with this issue months back, but then it's part of the responsibility to sensitize Nigerians that there are other unpatriotic Nigerians trying to foment trouble, trying to create trouble, trying to disturb the peace of the country. It is part of the strategy of keeping criminals on their toes. This is a passive way of show of force, waking up Nigerians and also keeping tab on those that are trying to come up with any sinister motives against the peace of the country.